Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Let me know who's here. Let us know in the chat. Let us know if you can hear us. It sounds really quiet, maybe because I'm not used to wearing my headphones.
Yeah, I also feel like it's a little quiet, but yeah, I think it might be the headphones. There we
So
go.
let us know in the chat if you can hear us. Did you find it? You found us on YouTube?
Yes.
It's kind of
Okay.
different, isn't it? So
Groovin. There we go.
great. Well, welcome. I see we have four guests in. Let's see. Hey, James, thanks for coming. And Deborah and Meredith is here. How did your classes go this morning?
Mine were really great this morning, and then energy started to tank in the last like 2 hours. And then I forgot to close my short notices for the last two, the 9:30 to 10, the slots that almost never get filled.
Yes.
I keep them open just in
Uh-huh.
case. And I got a short notice trial. And I was
Fun.
like, oh God.
Yes.
Scrape that last bit of energy and try to
hmm
get a kid to join the VIPKid family.
That's funny. When I first started, there's a video, and I was like, "Oh, I can't wait! I've got like 9 down, 10 to go," and then you hear ding
And then
dong,
ding.
and I was like, 11, and you can see it in my face, like,
Yeah.
ah.
Yeah.
So
Tim is
awesome.
here. Hi, Tim.
Oh, hey, Tim. Okay, so why don't you tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself? I didn't even introduce you. We just started talking. It happens a lot
I'm
on here.
teacher Sophia. My name is Sophia Burgos, and I am a brand new VIPKid teacher. I
Yay.
have been with the company for a little over 2 months.
Good. Yay, newbies.
2 months, woo! And um, I am originally from Chicago, Illinois.
Mhm.
I did all of my schooling in New York, and then I moved to Switzerland, then to Germany, then to the Netherlands. And that's where I am now.
Oh,
I know the
I
Netherlands
miss
is
it.
so great.
Send me back.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I am an opera singer. That was my full-time job. And then coronavirus happened,
Mhm.
and I lost since March all of my work, and things are starting to, like, last minute stuff is starting to trickle in, like, any concerts that can come up are coming up, but
Okay.
for the most part I lost all my work until about 2021,
Oh, wow.
with a few little exceptions here and there, but everything has been, you know, frozen or postponed or canceled.
Right.
So, yeah.
Kristen's a performer too, and she said the same thing.
Yeah, and actually, teacher Kristen and I have a couple mutual friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she went to school, I can't remember which university, but she went to school with some singers that I have done concerts like in Switzerland with.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the music world is painfully small. So,
Right? I feel like
yeah,
it's tough to get into too.
yeah, yeah, it is. But
Well, music's not my thing. My husband, my son, and my daughter are great with music. Me, not so
yeah.
much.
I mean, it was kind of a strange blessing. Like, I was starting to get singer artist burnout.
Okay.
I was working way too much, like back to back constantly. I was never home. Barely saw my partner. I see my family once a year. Like, it was brutal. I was starting to kind of fall apart. And then when it all stopped, it was financially really devastating, but not emotionally. Like, I really, really
Yeah.
needed a break. And having VIPKid as a possible thing to do, like, oh, like, this job has been a godsend, like, really, really. I think
Good.
people don't realize, or I mean, it's not that people don't realize it, it's just that there has been an insane amount of people who have just entered the company who lost their jobs,
hmm
and I'm one of those people. And it's like, you know there's of course issues with every job in the world, but if it wasn't for VIPKid, we
Yeah.
would be in a pickle.
Right.
And I'm just so grateful I get to do this and that, my very insane hard work paid off with the
Good.
help of like you and teacher Tim and teacher Nancy and teacher Kristen and teacher, like all of you guys, like
Aw.
so grateful. I'm so grateful for every single one of you.
Well, I'm sure saying thank you from all of us is is okay. I don't think Tim minds me saying thank you for him. Let's see.
I think it's funny that Tim is saying that my mic
Sophie.
headset quality is really good because this is like a $15 mic.
Is that what he said? See, you're good. You guys, where are you? Hey, ladies, never catch these. Mine was great. Oh, Deborah's doing parent feedback now. Yeah. Hey, Marianne. Candy. Sophie, would you want to teach on OutSchool?
I thought about it, but the idea of inventing my own curriculum right now just is too much for me.
Yeah.
Because of my situation, I went from one full-time job to another like totally different full-time job. I'm not I have to admit that I'm not a teacher. I am not a brick and mortar teacher. I
Right.
have not thought about teaching at all up until 2 months ago.
Right.
So the idea of inventing my own curriculum it's not like a thing I had been fantasizing about.
Right.
So for me, the fact that it's all laid out for me is, and I still don't understand if you're allowed to be abroad and teach OutSchool or not. I am not entirely sure. If
Certain
you're
countries. They can probably
certain
tell us in the
countries,
chat, yeah, which ones. I know
um,
I've been going back and forth with the idea also.
I
Idea.
you know,
But I am a kindergarten teacher with tons of lesson plans from before.
I can't even think about that. I mean, I'm interested in it as a
Yeah.
concept. Like I think I could come up with some really interesting music
Yeah.
related things, like performance wise, and also just like getting kids into art song and opera, and like the stories are incredible. So I think
Yeah.
there's something there,
Hmm.
but I can't
Yeah.
right now.
I think for me, worrying about copyright is where it gets me a little bit, but that's another whole thing.
Yeah.
So, you told us what you did before VIP Kid, and your why was basically because you lost your job
Yeah.
during
I lost my
COVID.
job, and I was working in Brussels at the time. And of course, it was totally unanticipated. We didn't know the severity of what was going to happen. So
Right.
I was in the middle of a really difficult, long, like 3-month long job, which is very long for the opera world. And it just suddenly stopped.
Wow.
And it was because it was a forced closure, you're not paid for anything that is not done. Even
Oh,
if you have a
wow.
contract with a company, if it's force majeure, which means, lawfully forced,
Hmm.
then that's it. You don't get pay for anything that gets canceled unless the company is particularly generous and, has the funds and wants to help in some way, but you're kind of on your own. So I came back home, kind of, I mean, very defeated. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. I don't
Hmm.
live near my family, and we have this pandemic going on, so I couldn't just up and go home. I mean,
Right.
this is where I live. So, and I also live here with my partner and my dog and responsibilities and all these things. But actually, it was another VIPKid teacher. Her name is Teacher Kate, and she lives in the Netherlands as well. And
Oh, okay.
she was the one who told me, I've known her for years, but for some reason, it just never came up in conversation. But she told me, like, hey, I teach for VIPKid. You would be amazing. You're super like energetic and entertaining. Blah, 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 blah. You would be great. You should try it. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh God. I have I mean, I have some experience teaching, but like when I say I have experience teaching, I mean I did like the few months, that the semester of student teaching that
Right.
you do way back. My teaching is basically just what I had to do in college because I did get a teaching certification,
Oh.
and I do have a double major in vocal performance and education. And I swear to you, at the time, I thought, I will never, ever use this degree. Ever.
Ever.
And here we are. So,
Hey, good thing you had it. Well,
yeah.
I guess for
So,
VIP Kid, you didn't really need a teaching certificate per se, but
No,
it's good
but
to
the
have.
fact that I even went through the courses and I have some understanding of teaching because of my work at the school that I went to and stuff, it's definitely very, very helpful. So
Right. Um, what was I going to ask you? Oh, so how long have you been with VIPKid?
2 months.
Oh, you said that.
I started
There.
like I think the very I my contract was signed and sent in like the last week of April.
Okay.
So my first
Sure.
full month was May.
And were you did you start getting bookings right away or?
Well, okay, so like I told you before, while I was waiting, so I did the level 2, 3.
Hmm.
That was my entry level mock,
Right.
what I certified for. While I was waiting for the 2, 3, I did the 4, 5. I didn't wait. Like while I was waiting for that 2, 3, I did the 4, 5.
Yeah.
And I was getting a little nervous because the contract was taking a little long to come in.
Yeah.
But in that time, I watched every YouTube video. Every YouTube video.
I'm sure that's
Like,
overwhelming.
no, it was super helpful actually. But I consumed everything. And then when I finally got my contract, I certified for everything I could certify for.
Hmm.
Trials was the one I was like really, really aiming for. So I got trials. And what ended up happening was in the first week, I got like 2 trials for the first week. That's what I got.
Yeah.
But I had done so much research. I was like practicing all the time. I like made sure that when I got that first class, I was going to nail it.
You're ready. Yeah.
So I did the 2 trials. They went really well. And I think both of them actually converted.
Oh, wow.
And then, like, you can see when I go back to my schedule, it's kind of funny. It's like all blue with 2 green. And then the next day, it was like pff, all green. And every single one said trial booked, info pending, like the one
Yeah.
where it's not a specific student, it's like someone out there
Right?
was like, let's see how many she can convert.
Yeah.
So then I spent about, I want to say almost the full month only doing trials.
Yeah,
And I
that was my
suddenly was
start.
getting super, super booked with trials. And at first it was amazing and fun and exciting. And then by
Hmm.
the end of that month, if I had to sing nose, I have one nose, mouth, I have one mouth, eyes, I have 2 eyes. Like I was going loopy. Like I was
Right.
going and doing that
Sing it
same
in your
song.
sleep.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It
I
was
knew I was teaching a lot of level ones when my husband started singing Say Hi to China. He was like, ah,
China.
I'm at work singing your songs.
I want to make a video soon about with my partner actually because the change that he's had to go through too. Just like his partner went from being a full-time singer, and he would always hear me singing in this room and doing all these crazy sounds and learning repertoire to suddenly like you get a star, like I think it would just be funny to hear his perspective of like
Yeah.
what it was like to have your partner go from one job into a totally different
Yeah, I
job.
want to hear it too. I want to hear what he's thinking. Maybe we should all do that. Well, you can mash a video
It's
together.
very funny. He likes to like make the same sounds as me and make fun of me, and it's
Hmm.
all very entertaining. But yeah, so I didn't get bookings right away, but for me, it was trials.
Yeah.
No question. Like the trials is really what pushed me into
Hmm.
getting regulars. Like my first regulars came from converted trials.
Yeah. So I want to know in the chat, what's the most you've taught in a day, either trials or total classes? That'd be interesting to know.
Me
Um,
personally?
what's that?
Me personally, or you're asking
For
everybody?
everybody and you.
Everybody. So actually what's funny is when I was teaching trials, I knew that so many of those trials were not going to show up,
Right.
right? So I never scheduled a lunch break ever.
Yeah.
I started at I think when I started, I would start at 8 a.m. my time.
Hmm.
No, sorry, 9 a.m. my time, all the way to 4 my time.
Yeah.
What's
I
Yeah.
don't know.
You're 6 hours behind me.
Am I 6 or 7? I'm in Central Time.
Oh,
So
then you're
Eastern
7. So
Time
you're
is 6,
7
yeah.
behind me. So I would start at 9 my time and I'd go all the way to 4. And I would just, the whole thing would be green, blocked out. And I would just take my lunch break whenever someone didn't show up. Just
That's
like
what I did when I was
in
getting started.
between. I always had just like food and snacks around. But generally
I
speaking, I
still
think the
do.
most I've done is like 14 to 15 classes
Yeah.
in a day. And that's like really, that's rough. Like by the end of those, I'm gone. I need
So,
a nap and I need to like a few
yeah.
hours to recuperate. But
Just so you guys know in the chat, and so Sophia knows, when I'm looking over to the side, this is your live chat. So I'm trying to get ahead on the next question people are asking. If you have a question for me or for Sophia, if you could put it all in caps so I can find it quicker. And if I'm looking straight down, it's the questions I've prepared for her. So I'm
yeah.
constantly looking around. Let's see. Tim said you cannot. Only US, Canada, UK, Ireland, New Zealand as well, I think. You have to set up your account in those countries and do your background check while in those countries. William said, I got a string of VIPKid supplementary courses on opera this week. Oh, I think that's level 6, right? I mean, no. Getting knowledge? Is that the knowledge classes? Have you heard? There's a whole section on
I've
opera.
I know, but I for some reason I don't think I qualify for those because I think my level 6 is still basic.
Oh, maybe. Wow, you have level 6 and you just started 2 months ago? That's awesome.
I have level 6 and 7 basic.
Good. I have 7 basic also.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thumbs up the live, everyone. Oh, hey, thanks, Tim. Let's see. Candy said I did the same thing, Sophie. I did the 2, 3, 4, 5 before signing. Yeah, me too. What's your schedule like? You are in the
Yeah.
best time
I
zone.
am in
He
the
said.
best time zone. It's true. I
I think
really I can't even understand how people how everyone in the US does it, really. I
yeah.
when you messaged me and you were like, I have to get up and start teaching at 4, I was like, oh.
I was like, it's 10 o'clock. The link is done. I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, so I start at 8 o'clock in the morning and then I'm done by around 4. It depends if those 2
Yeah.
non-teaching times get booked with trials,
Yeah.
which I would say nowadays I probably get about 3 to 4 classes per week in those
Really?
bottom. Yeah, because
That's pretty good.
I'm still transitioning out of getting nothing but trials, so I think they're still like throwing me like I had one today that
Yeah.
showed up like an hour ago. So I'm still teaching a lot of trials. And I mean, I'm a big feedback person. Like I'm really specific about what kind of feedback I leave. And
Uh-huh.
I ask for everything I want. I know that
Okay.
that's, I know that there's 2 kind of thoughts about this, about, what to ask for, but
Right.
I'm a very consistent person in the feedback and I will write to the LPCC, whatever you want to call it, for trial feedback. I'll give them the feedback that I have to say about the student, great
Mm-hmm.
thing, positive or critical, whatever. And then I'll say, also, I love teaching trials and I know my schedule is getting booked up, but please keep giving me trials because I love
Good.
teaching them. I've even thought about like maybe keeping some slots closed and then only opening them after Sundays so that potentially there's little cracks in my schedule to put a trial in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I want to keep trials. I don't want to
Yeah.
stop doing trials. I love trials.
Right. What's your
And I
favorite
like
trial?
um I like the jungle just because I hate the beginner 2 trial. I hate it. Um but I love also I really love 4 when you get students who truly are
Yeah.
level 4. 4 is fun because I travel a lot and I love like showing people. Oh yeah,
My
see,
salad trials. I haven't had a
yeah.
salad trial or a jungle in a long time. I get like 2 or 3 starlights a day.
I don't have Starlight. I don't have the Starlight certification, and I'm thinking of getting rid of my level 1 certification
Oh, really?
because the original level 1 is just not my bag. Like it's just
Really?
not. But the interactive level one, no level has ever been created more perfectly for me. Like,
What's the difference? I haven't taught that one. I've only had the regular level one.
They're night and day. Like nothing the same. Like the interactive level one is like Dora the Explorer. It's all animated, tons of clicking, moving stuff going on. There's like 20 songs. Oh, it's great.
Fun.
And the songs, I swear, are catchy. Like I sing the level one interactive songs like around the house. Like,
you're gonna have to teach me how to sing some of these songs because that's my scariest part.
Oh, if you don't like singing and doing all of that, then the interactive course is not.
I just get embarrassed.
No,
but I'm a kindergarten teacher, so it just depends on who's around. I'll sing with the kids, but if I know there's a parent there, I'm like, ugh. Or if they're older, I have one that loves to sing with me, and I'm like, you're like 13, you just sing it then. I don't say that, and I sing with him. But let's see. Candy said the most she's taught is 12. I think that's what she was saying. James said, I know how you feel. When I go walking in the morning, I'm singing Who is Big, Who is Small from level 1.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, there's these there's so many fun songs in the interactive level 1. I love it.
I wonder if there are a lot of the Pink Fong ones. This Saturday is going to be my worst, 12. I have never taught more than 10 in a row. The most I had was 26 classes in 13 and a half hours, but like Sophia said.
And you know what? For this last frenzy, whatever thing, for this coming Saturday, because I'm so used to not scheduling a lunch break because I never had to before,
no.
I forgot to this week because I forgot that now I'm not really doing trials as much. So I forgot to take a lunch break, and my Saturday is full. And so none of it is trials, so we're gonna have to.
All right, tip from a veteran.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. The peanut butter cups are for birthdays only. Because they're perfect. They look like a little cupcake. So I just stick a candle in it and it stands up perfect for them. And
that's amazing.
But, pistachios, Kind bars.
Yes. Okay. I don't have that. Well, if you saw my last video, you know what's right next to my. What's right next to my my setup.
You have to check it out if you want to see what's right next to it. And I linked that one below, so they can go check out too.
Whoops.
James said he loves doing level 1. Candy said she's never taught a trial. And yet, James said the picture of Sophia on your splash screen, it looked like Les Miserables. Do I say that wrong? Les Mis. That's what I was going to say the first time, and I'm like, wait, I got to sound that out.
Well, thank you, I think.
So what do you want to tell us about, can you tell us about those pictures? I know we're not at that yet, but.
The pictures, you mean the ones I sent you? On
the thumbnail, yeah.
Oh my gosh, those are all various times of singing. I don't know. I forgot, I don't have the thumbnail in front of me. The one where I'm in a red dress, I'm singing Leonard Bernstein concert in London. The one where I'm on the floor kind of crazy looking was a contemporary new music crazy thing that I did in France. The one where I'm outside of my poster pointing at myself was when I was finally Maria in West Side Story. Can't believe it took that long. And there's a picture of me bowing with Theodore Curensis, this very famous conductor.
Yeah, I cut him out because I wasn't sure if I was allowed to have
probably better you did. His PR is everywhere.
Good. So I cut out the people that, so we couldn't see them just in case. So.
Yeah.
And the other one was a profile picture. Can you see?
Oh, the one I designed.
Yeah.
I made that for my WeChat.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to create like a cute little card that, if parents screenshot or wanted to share my teacher name with other parents for some reason. I don't know. I'm always doing this stuff. I'm always just inventing things that no one asked for just to see what happens.
Right.
So I created little card, a VIPKid card that has my teacher profile show name on it, and
Uh-huh.
it's my profile picture on WeChat.
Cute.
Yeah.
Candy said she loves your background. I do too.
I just made it. I made it yesterday. I completely changed it from my original one.
Yeah.
It has pineapples, which I'm a big fan of.
Oh, cute. Um, Candy, no, it wasn't Candy. Deborah said she has an early childhood degree, but she prefers level 2, 3, 4. I know I felt guilty saying that when I was getting started. I'm like, I'm a kindergarten teacher, but
Yeah.
I love 5. I think level 5 with all the science and the kids can talk and,
I like level 4 the best, I think.
4. Oh, 4 is good.
Yeah. Because
Well,
that's, well, 3 and 4, like the ones that talk a lot about animals, and
yeah.
that's like another big passion of mine is plants and animals and stuff. So I
We can
like,
see one plant right now. I know Luann was talking.
yes. Oh my gosh. She's so beautiful. Look at this. I
Oh,
mean,
that is pretty.
it looks like someone painted it.
It does, really. That's awesome.
It's gorgeous. I love plants.
So, why do you think you had a successful start? Sophie and I have had this conversation a lot, and she's got some great ideas and thoughts on this. So,
Well, okay. Well, okay. So I was incredibly prepared. I think that's the first thing is you have to do an insane amount of research and preparation before you teach your first class, because for me, I felt like if I don't nail it, I mean, this was the pressure I was putting on myself, but you need to know what you are going to do and how you're going to do it in the
hmm
first class. I feel like, I didn't wait until I got my contract to know what certifications were. I didn't wait until my first contract until it was signed and I was in, to read up or learn about VIPKid. Anything I could watch, any
hmm
like lessons, anything that anyone had posted online, I wanted to get a feel for it right away. And then once I did get into the platform, I spent hours just like digging through the portal. Like I just think you need to consume and make it like your passion, and make it
Yeah.
something you're super, like you want to be the best at it. But that's
hmm
how I am. I'm a super, ask my partner or anyone who knows me, like when I get into something like plants, now I have a billion plants and I know everything about plants. When I got into, like it's just my
Right.
personality type. But I was super prepared, super, super prepared.
Right.
And the feedback, I have always been very, very specific about my feedback.
Yeah.
I know it's a big thing that a lot of people say, do you ask for feedback or do you not? Because it's
Right.
somehow, insensitive. In my opinion, I always ask for feedback. Always, always, always. I I mean, what is your thought about? I would be curious to hear what other people think about the feedback thing, but I think it's crazy actually not to ask for
Yeah.
feedback, but I wonder what other people's experience has been with it.
I used to ask for feedback when I was a newer teacher, and it was great. I got some feedback. And then I went to the culture awareness class, and they said that it wasn't right, so I stopped. And my feedback has been 4% no matter what I try, 4 or 5, 3% sometimes, no matter what I try since then. Um, but I will say, I think that they expect it from us. Our culture is to ask for what we need, and I think they expect that from us now. So I don't think it's rude. At least maybe 6 years ago when VIPKid got started,
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
they
things
didn't
have
understand our
changed.
culture as much. And I
Hmm.
think I think that I think they expect it more now. But that's just my personal
Yeah, I mean, for
thing on
me,
that. So
it's that, imagine any business that's, because we're a business,
yeah,
obviously we love teaching, but at the end of the day, this is our business.
yeah,
And for me personally, I am just starting this business. And when you just start, you have zero, you have nothing, you have
right.
there's no reason someone should hired me, because I have nothing to show for anything. I don't have
Right.
years experience or blah, 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 whatever. But if any business is just starting, what business would tell its customer, or who would tell someone starting a business, don't ask for Yelp reviews, don't ask for Google reviews, don't ask for
Right.
feedback because it's rude. And it's like, well, I just feel like, are there really parents out there who are just so offended that you ask for feedback? Like, I just can't even imagine that. That's never happened to me, but
Right.
maybe it's happened to other people. But my view on it is, if I don't have feedback, I mean, that's the one thing everyone looks at with anything, whether you're going to a restaurant, a store, hiring a contractor, whatever. People want to see your reviews. And
Yeah.
I've always just felt like, if I give a really great class and at the end of that class, I never ask directly. I never ask
Right.
for anything in the camera. I would never, ever, ever. But in the feedback, I have a nice little thing at the very end of my parent feedback in Chinese that
Oh.
says, hey, something along the lines of, your feedback really helps me
Mhm.
grow, blah, blah. And I also add that I'm also free to talk on WeChat, all this stuff. I make it very much about them. Like, I want to make your experience better. And I can do that if you leave feedback and if you contact me on WeChat. That's how I frame it.
Great.
And I've never had a parent upset about that. And also, if a parent was so devastated or offended that I left them a message to leave me feedback, I can guarantee to you that for every parent that has left me feedback, that has brought me more. Surely it
Mhm.
has brought me more bookings. So if I lose one parent because they're upset that I asked for feedback,
Right.
surely I have gained far more from parents who have been so generous to leave, 5 apples and reviews
Yeah.
about what they enjoyed about the class. So
That's
in
a good
my
way to think about it.
I ask for everything I want. I always ask because it's your business. At the end of the day, I feel very, like, intense about that. Like, I am running my business, you are
Mhm.
running your business, and we all get to decide how we want to run it.
Yeah.
And I've decided I want to ask the LP, like in a little blurb at the end, like, hey, you know what?
Mhm.
I love teaching this student. Would they be interested in a grammar class? Because I think it would really help them. I'm certified for grammar classes. Girl, like, anywhere I can ask for something genuinely.
Yeah.
I never blast information that is not pertinent or genuine.
Right.
Sometimes I do just leave feedback to the LP that just says, hey, the student's doing really great. Thank you so much for the opportunity to teach them. You
Good.
know, I also
Yeah.
think it's really important to leave positivity. I've seen a lot of people
Yeah.
say, like, oh, I only write to the LP if there's a problem. And it's like,
Mhm.
and that's fine. I'm not busting on like what other people do.
Right.
My perspective is, imagine you work with colleagues or a boss or something, and you always only come to them with bad news.
I hear you.
I just think it's not a great. I want my name to be associated to as many people in the company as possible with
Yeah.
constructive progress.
Mhm.
So I'm diligent about, I send tickets all the time. If there is a student who I think is in the wrong level, I send tickets. If there's a problem, I send tickets. But if I notice a student was moved or a student's doing really well, like outstandingly well for whatever
Mhm.
reason, I send a ticket and I say, hey, that was awesome. Thank you for doing that. Like, our classes are going so well. Or I'll leave it in the LP feedback, like, this is going super, super well. Thank you so much for your collaborative support in this.
Good.
Bao Bao is now reading like a champ or whatever. And I know that this cannot be proven, but I feel very much like, because I have been so I try to make myself a very personal part of a very large machine. I do think genuinely that has helped me, at least in one, even if it's one LP or two
Right.
LPs. There's someone out there, I think, who knows that my name is associated with, like, this person is going to give constructive,
Mhm.
progressive feedback, and that if I can make their life a little easier and they want to keep me in their pocket,
There you
I'm your
go.
gal. You know what I mean?
That's great. So it's a mixed bunch in the group chat on whether they ask for feedback or not. Rebecca said she goes back and forth, but she never asks for during bad classes.
I totally, yeah, you know what's interesting with bad class? I mean, it depends why it was bad.
Right, right, right.
I actually, yeah, it depends why it was bad. But sometimes when assessments, I feel like are really good places to, like if I have a student I've never seen before, ever,
Hmm.
you know how you often get booked for assessments with students you've never met
Yeah,
before? That's a place where I'm really, really, I'm not shy about being critical. If I think they're in the wrong level and they're really struggling, I write it.
yeah,
And I will tell the parent in the feedback, like, of course, showered in all of the positive, great things that they
right.
did accomplish and the things that I think that they are doing really well, but also very constructively saying, hey, um, in this unit, oh, by the way, I also know very well what the objectives are for especially level 2, but I know by level 2 unit 5 you should be able to do this.
Hmm.
If they can't do that, then I don't frame it like a personal thing, like I think they should be able, I'll just say, like, by level 2 unit 5, by the VIPKid standards, your child should already be able to blah, 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 blah.
Mm,
I think it would be really wonderful if they could rebuild that foundation in unit blah, 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 blah.
mm.
They would have
Okay.
much more fun. We would be able to, whatever you want to
Right.
say, but I try to always frame it like, let me make this experience awesome for
Yeah.
you. And I can promise you, if you try out this unit with me, it's going to be great,
Hmm. I
And
think that should be your next video. I think you need a feedback video. I'm serious. You have great way to word things. I'm terrible at wording things. I'm like,
well, okay, but I was shocked to learn how much carryover there was from being an opera singer into this. I really thought that I would be a fish out of water and that this would be just a nightmare.
yeah.
But if you can talk to a famous conductor,
Hmm.
if you can talk to an upset opera singer, if you can speak to like any number of those
Right.
personalities, a parent or a kid is like,
That's my problem. I've been in kindergarten and think everything is just great.
no, no. I have been like, the art world.
I say that, but I was active duty, so I've dealt with other
Oh yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
before.
And my partner was a Marine as well, so he's,
Okay.
but yeah, I
I
mean,
still
it's
like,
all about the wording, and I yeah, I do want to make more videos about this. Um, I know that videos are most effective when they're like concise to the point, but for me, success is in the
mhm,
details. It's in the little things. It's in the how you word your WeChat information. It's
mhm,
how you word the feedback. It's not, do you ask for it? Do you not? It's not that simple. It's how do you ask for it? Do you use WeChat or do you not use WeChat? It's how you
yeah,
use it. If you
I
take your
agree with you.
screen
Yeah.
and bombard and scream at the parent, I have WeChat. I mean, yeah, that's not a good idea. Don't do that, because that's like screaming at someone, I have Instagram. The
Yeah.
parent's going to be like, yeah. So,
Let's see. I'm trying to find Tim had a great comment here. He said, Sophie, you are a real positive light. You have so much to offer on your channel. Keep making
oh,
videos. Yeah, if you haven't checked her out, I
I just
put
started my channel. There's like 4 videos
three,
on it.
four. Okay. I put her
3
link
probably, 3 or
below.
4, yeah.
It's beautiful channel and I love her video on intro videos.
Yeah, I just did a video on I I put all my materials out there. I put my profile photo, my
Yep.
2 extra photos, and I showed my
Nice.
video, and I basically just go through it, and I critique it myself,
Mhm.
and
And
I just
even what you wrote in your for your
oh, in my
bio and everything.
bio.
I mean, guys, she breaks it all down. It's yeah, it's well put together.
Yeah, and I try to keep my videos short, but again, in that instance, I was like, it's about the details. It's not, do you say this, do you not? It's like, how do you word
Yeah.
these things? And I swear, like the WeChat, what a savior. Like WeChat has
Really?
been. Oh my
I
gosh,
don't know
it
how to
has been.
navigate it yet.
That's my next video. I swear my next video is WeChat because we don't have time for it right now.
Right.
I can name to you like 5 stories, 5 totally different scenarios that have
Mhm.
made it so that that first of all, I kept a student in my little roster for
Yeah.
now. But has also just made my classes so much better with
Oh,
difficult
good.
students, with students that, I just didn't understand,
Mhm.
things that I think would have been just like, okay, well, it doesn't work. We're just going to find a different teacher, which is
Right.
very easy to do in VIPKid. But instead, just having a little bit of communication with the parents has
Mhm.
just, you know,
So someone has requested that on a Monday collaboration. If you want to come and help us out on a Monday. Oh, that's like in the middle of your sleep, though. We'll have to figure it out. We'll have to do a collaboration on that because that was
on
requested.
WeChat.
Yeah, they asked me to do a collaboration on WeChat, and I'm like,
Oh,
I'm gonna have to
yes.
find some
Let's talk
help.
about it because I have I could sit here and tell you story after story about how WeChat has just changed the whole game.
Okay, we will definitely have to get back together on that one.
Yeah.
Sophie, you should read Ed Nace's book. He gives great advice on giving feedback. Have you heard of Ed Nace? Yeah,
Yes, I think other YouTubers have mentioned this book as well,
yeah.
given like their 5, points of like great things. And I did no, but no, but in those
No, I'm
instances,
laughing
I,
at the next question for you.
oh, in those instances, yeah, I did do a lot of research and I listened to a lot of what other people had been saying, about what they put in their feedback. And my feedback has evolved like from the
Right.
first time. That's why I think it's important. Of course, I use templates, but but I'm also always rethinking them and reading
Yeah.
them and updating them. And my feedback has changed dramatically from
Mhm.
when I started to even now. And I'm sure it'll keep evolving.
Yeah.
But the WeChat is everywhere. It's everywhere.
All right. I'm gonna
My
have to get into
WeChat
that. So
information is
James
everywhere.
wants to know if you can help him get on WeChat. He's been trying for 6 weeks. I am not allowed to validate. Is that the word validate or
How
verify?
I think in order to validate, I need to have been with the company, been with WeChat for a certain amount of time.
And I've been with them for a while, but it always says my account is not allowed to verify.
Sorry, my dog.
Oh, awesome. I love dogs.
Sorry. Hey,
I think I want a dog.
it's my
My
dog
daughter has a
yelling at the
dog, so I have a
mailman.
grand puppy, but now I want one.
Oh yeah, I have a big old pit bull.
Oh, love pits. Love them.
Yeah, he's great.
Let's see. Teacher Luann. Oh, it's at Candy. So, do you have a lot of props?
Oh no, I'm a very minimal. I use the Google Planner,
Uh-huh. Google Slides.
the Google Slides.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
And your number one prop that you say you use all the time? Yes. You want to play a little something?
This is all I use really. Like, I mean, I just use my ukulele constantly.
Oh,
I
I
have
could listen
found
all
that
day.
kids, y- I mean, maybe it's because I just attract them because of my intro video, but I find that there are some kids where I will do the whole class just singing.
Yeah.
Like kids who don't want to speak,
Mhm.
if it gets really boring to just have them repeat after me over and over.
Yeah.
So I will often just turn things into songs and we'll just sing the whole class.
Mhm.
And
I
even if
had
they
a
don't
little
sing
boy.
back,
Yes.
sorry.
No, I
Oh
had
my
a little
God, did you see
boy
I
that was
said
like that.
sorry?
Yep, it's
Dead.
official.
I was like, sorry.
I have a little boy that we sang. This was my microphone, and he used his remote control, and we sang every class, like the whole thing, because that's the only way I could keep him interested. And I
Yeah.
think he was 9 or 10, but he said they weren't taking classes anymore. Aw.
Oh, yeah. I
Hey,
sing through a lot of classes.
Kristen from Kristen's Classroom is here.
Hi,
And
Kristen.
Ellen, hey Ellen, good morning. Guys, if I missed you, good morning and thanks for joining us. 13 in the chat, you guys rock. Thank you. I'm loving Sophia's background. Kristen likes your background too.
Yay. Thank you. It's new.
Fun. I've changed mine like 3 or 4 times. It's a little busy, but it doesn't You know, when you're in the classroom, it fits differently. That's this. I keep trying to fix this because it's a little bit
Yeah,
crazy,
mine's
but
a little wonky too because, and I'm on a corner, so it's always a little bit awkward,
yeah.
but yeah, props. I use my ukulele. I have this star thing, and then I have like a couple of flashcards, like essential flashcards, like weather, animals, foods,
Mhm.
colors, but I am in awe. Like I like the teachers who have like bins and bins and bins of props, like that's amazing. Incredible. It's not my journey. Like that's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
I'd like to say that I wasn't going to do that, but having all of my kindergarten stuff in the garage, I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh, this is coming up.
why
I
not?
have something for that." So I run in the garage, grab something else, and it just kind of stays. So it's a
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's a
again,
mess.
I'm going to be a singer again soon, and then I'll have to figure out how to VIPKid at the same time as singing, but I'm
Ah,
just
Kristen?
I also like I really truly, and this is like props to the vets. See what I did there. But but I can't even imagine laying out all the props that I would need for every class of the day. Like
Right, I don't do that.
I can't even fathom that. Like I just go from class to class. I do the feedback in
Mhm.
that 5 minute window between classes, and I just go 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 go. So I
That's
can't
not
even
totally
imagine.
true. I did used to do that. I had all of these bins filled for each class and I stacked them in order. So I would just grab the bin.
How?
Well, like this is also what I did. This is crazy. I printed out every
Oh my god.
slide, took notes, and I had all of my props. Yeah, I even have cough drops. I
That's
had
amazing.
all of my props and everything. Now I have my basics. Like an apple, I have to change my apple out every week. There's certain things that I use for pretty much any class. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I
Yeah.
have my soccer ball down here,
Yeah, ball is useful. There have been things that I'm like, that would be useful to have. Ball
small
is
and
used
big.
all the time. Yeah.
So
But
you
for the
can use
most part,
one thing for many different things. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm very minimalist with props, but I'm very maximal energy.
Mm.
I sing a
Yeah.
lot, ukulele a lot, and yeah, a lot of
Candy said,
moving.
"Oh,
Thing.
sorry."
No, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Candy said, "Props eat into your paycheck. I don't like buying props because you are spending money, not earning money." I agree, and I know there's lots of free 2D props too. So if you ever need any kind of what am I trying to say, flashcards, go to the teacher portal or to the props and rewards Facebook group. Did you I didn't even know for the longest time that you can get these stars props. They come in like little things of 5 or 6 in that group.
From the group, yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
and
I'm
I
part of the
just printed
slides
out a
group
few.
and the props group. Amazing. All
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep. So I bought props in the beginning from places like Goodwill. I have stopped buying and use what I have now. Yeah, I still go and read my kindergarten stuff.
Yeah, but
um,
like rewards, I having the Google Slides, I literally choose the reward while I'm talking to the kid in the first
oh really?
that those first 2 minutes where I'm getting to know them. Well, because I've only been here 2 months.
Yeah.
I I would say that if I'm communicating with the parents about classes like that to me is what I define for myself as a regular, like someone who I am in regular communication with
Hmm.
about their classes. I probably have something like 11 families or something in my
Oh
WeChat
great.
right now. But for the most part, I am often teaching kids I've never met before because I'm still, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
But I have like a gajillion reward systems in the Google Slides that are like ready
Yeah.
to go. And then
Hmm.
while they're talking, I know what's in there. It's not like I'm over here
Right.
trying to figure out what I have. I know what I have in there. And then if they say, "Oh, I love Legos,"
Mhm.
then boop, okay, let's get
Legos.
started.
Or if they
But
have like a Spider-Man shirt, you're like, oh,
yeah, then I
Spider-Man.
immediately I'm like, okay, there's a Marvel superhero one right here. Okay, good.
I love Marvel.
Yeah. So I for me the props is like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, there are some days I get exhausted of the props and I just don't even Or not the
Yeah.
props, sorry, the rewards.
The
There are
rewards.
days I get exhausted with the secondary reward.
Oh,
And
really?
I need breaks from using secondary rewards, because if I am not convinced by it, or if I'm sick of it, no matter what it is, the kid's gonna be like, this is dumb.
Hmm.
You know? Like,
I always use something different, like guess the word, aka hangman, or
yeah.
some of the older kids love when you do like red and then they have to start the word with the letter D and then they
Yeah.
do like door and then you start with R and we just try to go back and forth, back and forth. That's
Yeah.
fun. It doesn't take much
I
time.
usually take iPad breaks where I just get tired of having to constantly go back and forth with the iPad,
Yeah.
and I'll just do stuff with my whiteboard, and
Oh
I'll
yeah.
just do different kind of drawing things. And
I
that's
can't
really
draw.
Oh, I'm
I've
terrible
tried
at
drawing
drawing.
rewards.
No, it's actually that they I have them draw too.
Yeah, on the blank slide.
And that is fun to do, because when you take away all your props and when you take away all your rewards is when you start to learn different things about your students,
Mhm.
about I didn't know some of my students loved drawing. So
Yeah.
every kid says they love drawing. But when you say we're going to do drawing as a reward, then you find the students who are like,
Yay. Yeah.
love drawing. And so now I have a student that she comes to class, it's adorable. She comes to class with a piece of paper where she has already pre-drawn out 5 slots
Oh yeah.
for her stars.
Yeah.
And then I tell her what to draw in one of the slots. And then she's like, okay.
Oh,
And now she
cute.
comes to class with a different set of 5 empty slots for drawing. And I'm like, perfect. I don't need to do anything
Nice.
for your
Yeah.
awards. We're just going to draw things. Yeah.
That's
So I
great.
try to keep it very simple with the rewards, very simple with the props, because I'm sure for some people it's like so much fun and super inspiring, and like they're so excited to use their new rewards and new props.
Yeah.
That ain't it for me. For me, I'm excited to sing, dance, move.
Mhm.
And the iPad thing, I'm like, okay, we'll do it. That's fine. But I'm not super convinced by,
Yeah.
you know,
It's a
I
dance
don't
party. Hey.
I don't like find a star. Anything that's like pick a number and there's like a star
Love it.
behind it. I just don't. Maybe you can answer this for me. And this is a super noob question.
Okay.
What if they click one and they don't get a star?
Oh, see, I can only remember it 5 times, so they keep going until they get the star.
Ah,
So, but I have one that's landform, so it goes with the landform, lesson. I have animals. There's pigs. There's one with pigs that we like are in tears laughing. So I have I bought a set of like 100 of them for $5. I have them printed and
whoa.
yeah. So I just close my eyes and pick one and whatever comes out. Or like this morning, I had one that was angry. I could hear him yelling at his mom before class. And he was mean. He came on the screen, put his hand up, wouldn't talk, wouldn't do anything. And I was like, oh, I have Pokemon today. First time ever meeting this kid. It was a part of the pilot program or test program or whatever. First time I was like, oh, I have a Pokemon game today. And he's like, what? Didn't have trouble the rest of the class. And all I did was pull out a Pokemon find a star. So all the older
Okay.
kids, I'm like, do you want to find a star? Do you want just stars today? And they're like, no, Pokemon, or I have Avengers. So
Yeah, I mean, I like the things that are like pick one. Like
yeah.
build or pick like things
Mhm.
that lead to a larger picture. I really
Yeah.
enjoy those. And so, I
Oh,
like doing those. I don't like when they pick something and then they don't get the star, because I had a student get so frustrated by that. And I'm like, no, no,
I
no.
only had one
It's
that got
fine. You're still
frustrated.
gonna get your star. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry.
I'm like, let's find the star.
Yeah, so and the thing is, I want my classes I want the reward to be super fast, and I don't like the idea that they would pick something and then I'd have to pick another one
Hmm.
for them to get the star. Like, I swear I had one student where she picked like 4 of them and she picked all the ones that didn't have a star. And I was like, okay, I don't have time for this. Like,
Yeah,
I just
but
don't have time.
it's quicker later on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That pretty much takes the same time every time, but it's
right. But then it's quicker
longer
because every
settings
single one after that is a star.
Yeah.
I just,
Right.
for me, it's like, let's get it done. Boom, great. Look, you got a thing. Awesome, let's go. Because
just
the thing
depends,
is,
yeah.
like, I like my classes to be super. I'm not like Teacher Michael. Like, my classes are not like full of puppets and like the
Yeah.
magic, thing that Teacher Michael does. But my class is a lot of joking, humor, stories. We like to tell each other stories and play songs, and that takes a lot of time out of the
Yeah.
class. So for me, it's like I'd rather have time for that, and they love it too, and that's
Yeah.
kind of the reward too. So I would rather just like, yeah, you got a star, and now let's like sing and dance and like, woo.
I think it
So
depends. Like if you make the find a star that way, because I'm not going to sit here and play a ukulele. So my star is interactive. You know what I mean? I think it just depends on how you make it. I could be like, yay, star. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So,
Hmm.
but I'm like 2 stars.
Yeah.
Let's see. I ask my FT and TP students if they want a secondary award or stay with the basic stars. Yeah. So far, only one has told me he doesn't want the secondary reward, and that just depends on the day.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. So when Sophia and I were talking about newbie starting, she had told me that a newbie didn't know that there were certifications you can get. So, wow. Do you want to
Well,
tell everybody if they're new watching this where they can find them?
well, so it's more that I think people need to come into any new job with a lust to know, like to consume the whole thing. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it can be very I think when recruiting is involved, sometimes I think people come into any job like this with kind of a false idea of what the startup will be like. So I have reached out to a lot of people on Facebook who have said they were struggling with bookings because I wanted to help them and I wanted to like, let's look at your materials, let's talk about whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it's not necessarily their fault, but a lot of people have come in with a false idea of like how it will get started.
Yeah.
I think that the term regulars is also a little bit over emphasized. I mean, a lot of people I feel like are very concerned about keeping regulars as opposed to just keep looking forward. Don't worry if students come and go, just keep looking
Yeah.
forward, get really good at teaching your classes, and the students will come, and it won't matter which ones come or go because they'll just either come back, they won't, but more will come.
Right.
And I think yeah, when you're just starting, you have to like spend hours on that portal and look at it. I mean, it was overwhelming. That portal has like 1,000 tabs, like 1,000 tabs. So,
Yeah.
click all the tabs, look at all the things you can click, go to the library, find the thing that says workshops, which I will agree is not a well-placed button. There should be an easier way to get to the workshops
Right.
button.
I do think a lot of people come into VIPKid and think I just do my hiring process and open up slots, and that's it. I'm going to
Yes.
get booked. I don't
Yes.
think
I
they
think that's a
realize
lot
that
of,
you have to market and
yeah.
market
And for
yourself a little
me,
bit.
I'm a big marketing, like, because that's what I'm coming from, right? I come from opera singing and I spend a lot of time thinking about how I market myself.
Yeah.
So I'm really big about my profile video, my bio. I am always like tweaking it, always curating.
Mhm.
I've been very direct with people about, none of your photos should be alone except your profile photo. The other
Right.
ones, make them engaging, show your hobbies.
I think.
And I say in my video too, I say, I can't, like, really the amount of videos I've seen that have started with this handshake.
Yes, I was laughing so hard.
Like,
I gotta go watch mine. I have no idea. I haven't changed mine
it's
in
an
the
incredible
10
amount of
months.
people. I'm sure someone said it, the same way that someone in VIPKid said in that one class to not ask for feedback.
Right.
I don't agree. So I'm going to ask for feedback. And I
Right.
don't agree with starting, with this handshake, because what I saw is kind of what the parents will see, which is a lot of videos that start like this. And I think that, while taking other people's advice is amazing, and it's so amazing that so many people are being so generous to give that advice,
Mhm.
ultimately you have to find your own unique thing, and you have
Yeah.
to find a way that you will be separated from the rest in your
Mhm.
feedback, in your bio, in your profile, in your pictures, in the way you teach, everything. You have to find like that unique spin that is somehow going to set you apart from 100,000
Right. I
other
agree.
people, you know?
Rebecca, I was just thinking about you when Sophia was talking about the picture at the end. Rebecca has like a sticker book, and the kids pick a sticker. and it makes something. So she has that. It's like an Amazon
Interesting.
thing. And then she also, her dad, I did an interview with her and her dad. Um, he does like tiles, magnet tiles, I think they were,
Oh,
but he
okay.
does the picture upside down.
Oh, so
So at
then
the end, he
you
turns it.
reveal.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
they're so creative.
Yeah.
James said yes. Rebecca, oh, he used a Paw Patrol. You are right, Sophia. When I first started, I went through and clicked on all the tabs to see what was there. So when you started, was there like a new teacher tab? Okay, I was told about that too because when I got started, there wasn't one. And did it have a lot of this information in that tab or?
I'll be honest, I went through that tab a few times and didn't see anything particularly, but well, I'm sure it's very useful. But again,
Right.
I was crazy and obsessive, and I pretty much knew everything that I felt I needed to know while that
Right.
tab was available to me. So I think it's helpful. I can't, I'll be honest, I don't remember exactly what was in that tab.
Yeah.
I think I went through it a few times and read a few things, but I really don't remember. Another thing I don't really understand is the hutong.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that is or
You
how
can
to
go
use it.
there. There's challenges. A lot of times there's information in there. You can earn your tokens and then you can spend them later on. You can add them to your other
Yeah, and
tokens.
I've tried doing it. It felt like there were my thing always said, "Oh, there are no new challenges." Like whenever
Hmm.
I would go there, it would just say there are no new challenges for today, and I
I don't know. I
didn't.
haven't been on there in a while. That's one of my
Yeah,
downfalls.
it became it was not something I ended up hanging out on very much because I
Yeah.
yeah, but but the portal in general, like, oh my gosh, go through all the certification
Yeah.
tabs, go through all the financial tabs, go through all the stats tabs. Like, there's so many tabs. It's true, but you have to go through it and figure out like what's there. You know?
When you got started, did you use the rebooking feature?
Yes, I'm still on the rebooking
Yeah,
feature
me
and
too.
short notice.
I did right
Like,
away.
see, like I just this is the kind of thing where I'm like, I don't know why you wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
For me, it's like I will not leave any reason for you not to hire me.
Right. I hear you.
There is no reason for you not, like, I have every, like, if you want to rebook me 17 minutes into the class, cool, great.
Right.
Like, I'm here eating my Doritos.
Yeah, you
Like,
shove one in your mouth. That's when you get rebooked. You're like,
I've had that happen
oh
so
yeah.
many times where I think someone's not coming because we're about 15 minutes into the class and I'm like,
Mm,
okay, this isn't happening. And I'm over here like,
yeah.
and then someone shows up and I'm like,
I was at 21:30 the other day when
oh God.
my little friend showed up.
Yeah, I've been there.
Man, I have kept you for over an hour already. Let's see.
No, it's great. This is, I
Okay.
mean,
Hey guys, if
fun.
you have any questions for Sophia, please put them down in the chat box. I think I'm going to skip down to the final three. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, what are qualities of a good teacher?
Oh my goodness.
I sent them to you ahead of time.
Okay, I'll be honest. I couldn't quite read all of it,
I know it was a mess, guys.
and I
It
was
was
not
like
going to ask you to do anything because you were so amazing and working so hard and you were so tired and I was
you're
like,
so
this
funny.
will be fine. It'll be fun. Qualities of a good teacher. I think self-awareness,
Hmm. Oh, good one.
self-awareness, like just knowing, you know, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and knowing how to amplify your strengths and market your strengths, and knowing your weaknesses and knowing how to improve upon those weaknesses, knowing where to go to improve upon those weaknesses. I think that's an important thing to have in life in
Yeah,
general.
really.
But
Not just for teaching.
not just for teaching, but for me, that's a big one, is being able to self-reflect and grow from the things that you don't know and the things that you do know, knowing how to amplify those things. So self-awareness. I would say like craft or originality in your craft, like just being, knowing how to, never feeling like you know everything you need to know,
Oh,
but always growing, always knowing that, like, I think because I'm a singer and I've never had a job that was stable in my life, you always feel this fear, this like fire that's like, oh, I need to keep getting better. I have to keep figuring out the next thing because it could all just go away. And I think that's a feeling that a lot of people hate in VIPKid, that things feel so unstable. Like one week you could have bookings, another week you might have nothing. But for me, that's a very familiar feeling. And the way you combat that is to trust your own process and to know that your craft is always developing, it's always growing. And if you are always growing, the rest will come. But if you just kind of sit and think, well, I did all the things that I needed to do, why isn't this thing meeting me where I am? And it's like, unfortunately, you have to be the one who keeps going.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Yeah, you can't let the outside factors, as much as they might be disappointing or difficult or suck, all you can do is keep moving forward with your own path, your own thing. And then the third thing I would say is like resilience. Like, it is tough times right now. Like, across the board, it is tough times for everyone. And I personally feel so lucky, so lucky to have this job. And I think it's what we do is just so great, and it's gonna have tough times. It's gonna, there are gonna be disappointments, but just knowing how to keep moving forward. Don't wallow in the anger too long. Like, find your motivation to just keep attacking your goals as best you can, and just fight the good fight. Those are my 3 things.
Love it. So what are some of your goals?
In life or with VIPKid?
I like to go with life, but it can be whatever you have as a goal. I love goals. That's the way I live, is what's my next thing?
One of my goals has always been to be more financially stable. In general. Being an artist and then doing VIPKid, my life has always been like really sporadic and constantly changing, and that has had an effect on like my feeling of stability and financial stability for sure. Because it's so funny, because VIPKid is the first time in my life that I turn on the timer and I do a job, I turn off the timer, and literally that money shows up numerically in an app.
Right?
You have no idea what that felt like. I was genuinely addicted to it for like the first month. I couldn't believe that the work I was putting in equaled money.
Right.
Because with singing, it's not like that. You sign a contract that says once you get to the performances, you'll be paid this much per performance. But your rehearsals, none of that is accounted for.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's technically accounted for in the performance fee, but there's no like clocking in at a certain time and you're on the hour for this much an hour. Like, that just doesn't exist.
Right.
So you have no sense of financial anything. You have no sense of like how the world actually works in terms of finances. So to have my hours actually count for very specific money was like blew my mind. So I would love to, one of my goals is financial stability and also figuring out a way to keep this going. Like, I have really fallen in love with this. I've fallen in love with online teaching, with the students, the possibilities, and I do want to figure out a way now to keep this in my life. And also, I would love to one day mentor other teachers, people who want to build up their own marketing, their own businesses. I would love to get into that, but
I'll be a guinea pig. Come help me out.
Right.
Come teach me
you
your
are
ways.
Teaching me, ma'am.
No, not when it comes to marketing myself and things. That's not me.
So I would love to, my goal is to figure out how to wrap all of this together and, have the best of both worlds, be able to do my passion, which is singing and performing and traveling, but also helping other people build up their businesses and marketing and teaching and working with kids. Like,
at least this is a travel friendly job too. I taught 33 classes in one weekend in a hotel. Like, it can be
Yeah,
done.
I would love, at some point I am gonna have to dig for advice in the like VIPKid Teachers Who Travels group. Like
Hmm.
I need surefire ways to make sure my internet works wherever I am
Yeah.
because I
And
travel
I've
so
got tips
much.
on that. We'll have to chat about that.
Yeah, because I don't know all the best ways
And
around that. But
Sophia, the big tip for anybody out there is call ahead. Call the hotel
yeah,
and ask them to do
yeah.
an internet test for you.
Hmm.
So, okay, the last question. What is your favorite professional development or teaching resource?
Within VIPKid or in general?
Mm, either. How about one of each?
Um, my favorite resource. It's hard for me to say because I have gone through so many of different places
Hmm.
for resources. I mean, honestly, the resource I used the most, like if I had to track like the one resource I have used per hour, like by hour the most is YouTube.
Yeah, I
Like
think that's the biggest answer now.
I mean, I have watched every, like, I'm not kidding. I've watched every episode, every video that teacher Kristen, teacher Nancy, teacher Aaron, teacher Michael, teacher
Yeah.
Tim, you, like everyone,
Aw,
teacher,
thanks.
teacher Melissa. Oh my gosh, so much. Like,
Melissa Nichols?
no, Melissa, Castillo.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh, her page just is flooded with teacher tips. Like,
Yeah.
just YouTube. Like I have been, consuming everything everyone
Mhm.
has been putting out. And then honestly, like trial and error, I that
Yeah.
that's yeah, for me, it's taking what everyone has to say and then reflecting on it and saying, okay, well, this is how I think I can do it in the way that is the most genuine to who I am.
And I think that's what I like about you. And what I love about that intro video and things, it's like, here's what I've learned, but here's how it's working for me, or here's how I'm going to do it. I don't know. That's what I really liked about you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I tried to make my intro video, I mean, I don't love it. I think there are some
I
things
do. It's
oh,
fun.
thank you. um, yeah, I mean, inserting like clips of your real life. Why not? Like things, you
I'm gonna
know.
have to show you mine. Ah, oh man,
But
it's
but the thing
everything you
is,
say not to do.
no, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of teachers have also said, like veterans have said on the Facebook groups, like, well, I didn't do that. And it's like, yes, I'm not saying you have to do that or to be successful you have to, but acknowledging that someone who's entering the company now
Right.
have to
Well,
do something very different than what you did 3 years
mhm,
ago is an important thing to be self-aware about, that like the thing
mhm.
you did is amazing and incredible, and like we
Yeah.
have nothing but admiration for the veterans who have come this far and who have completely shaped the platform.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, we newbies have to do something totally different. There are
Right.
way more teachers,
Right.
way more people trying to fight for the same slots. It's
Yeah.
just,
Mine's a little
yeah.
bit different though. I have, a master's in education too. So I think that did help me get started. And where everyone is in their profile pictures with orange, or a lot of
Yeah.
people, not everybody. I'm in a
Yeah.
bright purple shirt with a red brick background. And I think
Yeah.
it just stands out a little bit so people will at least click on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that definitely helped.
You have to think like, what is
Yeah.
everyone seeing?
Mine's
If
not bad. It's a
I'm
teacher. It's a
sure it's
total
not bad.
kindergarten teacher. Ball.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if it's organic and genuine to who you are, it doesn't
It's
have to
me.
have all the editing. It doesn't have to have all the like text flying through the screen,
Nope.
but
One
it's
one take on my cell phone. I'm gonna send it
that
to
and
you.
that's all you need. It just has to be or like original to yourself,
Yeah.
like very organic. I had a teacher reach out to me and she sent me her video, and I, I, it's interesting because when you think about mentoring people, or at least in my current experience, like starting to mentor, you think that it's going to be like much more logistical, like, well, do this, not that, do this, not that. And actually,
Hmm.
what ends up happening is I end up having these like insanely deep conversations about who they are as people, because
Oh, really?
what I often see is people showing me their videos and the videos are not them.
They're like of others they
Their
watch. They're
videos
trying to be
are
someone
them
else.
pretending to be
I
someone
understand.
else.
Yeah.
And what I often have to, of course, I can logistically say, okay, your camera angle's too low, or, you know, it's in this position, it's needs to be horizontal, not vertical, whatever.
Right.
But generally speaking, the biggest thing that's going to make your video not read very well is if you are not portraying an organic, genuine sense of yourself. I mean, that
Yeah.
really reads loud and clear. I don't need to know you personally at all. I don't need to ever have met you to know that what you're putting down makes no sense, because it just feels not you.
Right.
And so I had this conversation with this one teacher, and she admitted, like, she really opened up and was like, yeah, I guess I feel really pressured to be super high energy, because she ended up sending me photos, like, again, all three of her photos were her alone, and I was like, girl, no, like, find me some pictures that tell me a story about your life. I know nothing about you, and looking at these three photos, I still know nothing about you. So send me something that's gonna. And she sent me a photo of, like, her with children, and, like, it was just so much, it was so fun and
You're like,
beautiful.
this is it.
And then I realized from the photos that she's this very calm, sweet, loving, peaceful spirit. And I was like, that is awesome. You do
Yeah.
not need to hide that. Like, there are tons of parents and students who want that and who love that caring, nurturing, soft personality. You don't have to come into your video with bells and whistles and blah, 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 you know. And she was like, yeah, I guess I didn't really feel like I could do that. And so it's interesting the kinds of conversations you end up having to try to help people market themselves.
Yeah. I think you're going to be a great mentor.
Oh, and I need help from people like you and teacher Tim and all these people who have already helped me so much, but, you know, I'm still very much learning, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do that, you know, how to best communicate myself in videos and, you know, in groups, in other platforms. Like, it's all a process, you guys.
It's so much learning.
It's exhausting.
I'm so lost. I reached out to all of them. My next thing I'm vowing is I'm going to learn how to edit, guys.
Oh,
I always say I do live videos so I don't have to edit.
I thought about doing a video about, like, I thought about doing a video about basic editing, like very, very basic editing.
I'd watch it.
But the thing is, I wasn't sure which, the thing that stopped me from doing it is that I don't know which editing software is the most universal. Like, I don't know what everyone uses, because what I use is Filmora, and I didn't feel good making a video about a program that other people would have to pay for to use.
Yeah, that's actually what I think I'm going to be getting is Filmora. I heard Filmora Wonder something 9.
Wondershare 9.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Right now,
I can help you. That's what I used to edit all my videos.
I use the right now I'm using Video Editor on my laptop, on my very old laptop. So it was working for, you know, the beginning of me getting started on YouTube, but it's time to learn something else. And exciting news, if anybody is interested, Canva reached out to me and asked me to be an affiliate for them, which I reached out to them a long time ago, and they're like, yeah, your website. But now that my husband has redone my website, they reached out to me. So I was excited for that.
That's super cool.
I'll let you know what they say. They asked me to apply, and I did. So I love Canva. I use Canva for everything. Do you use Canva?
I don't. I know a lot of people use Canva. I use PicMonkey.
PicMonkey, yeah, that's like the Canva and PicMonkey are the two that
I've never tried Canva, but PicMonkey's so good. Like,
really?
Like, you know, the little thing I sent you, my little teacher Sophia profile pic thing. Yeah. I made that on PicMonkey.
Oh, okay.
Like, I just feel like anything I want to do, I can do on there very easily. Yeah. It's very intuitive, I feel like, but yeah.
I paid for them and waited on a webinar for them, and they never, they canceled the webinar because of COVID and never got back to me. And so I've just been kind of running around with them, but wow, well, I have kept you for quite a while, and I have 2 hours before I have to go pick up my in-laws. So time to go get cleaning and stuff ready. But thank you so much for coming, Sophia. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much for hanging around and listening to us chat.
Yeah,
So
and thank you for doing this. Thank you for hosting and inviting me. I'm so honored to be on
this
one
is
of
her
these.
idea. Don't let her fool you.
Well,
She
the
wanted to do
idea
something for
was,
newbie teachers. It was
yeah.
yeah.
Don't make me sound bad
No,
at the end of this video.
I thought
I
it was
wasn't like,
I
Cassie,
was
you
trying
need
to
to feature
no,
me.
I was trying to say a good thing about you, that your idea for newbies, but then I realized after saying it that wait, she
The
was the only one
original
that
idea was
yeah.
I reached out and said, it was after you had hosted all the veterans, and I said, it'd be really cool if you hosted a bunch of newbies that are
Yes,
successful, because it'd
that's
be
what it was
interesting to
supposed to
compare and
be.
contrast the things that all the successful newbies are doing versus what all the successful vets did. I did not ask her to feature
Right.
moi.
It was not supposed to be just her. I told you I'm not good with the words. After I said it, I was like, wait, that sounds a little different than what I was trying to go out with.
Yeah, no, it was supposed to be a couple of us, but it ended up just being me, which, I mean, I'm okay with. Let's not,
Right.
I'm not that humble, but
But we do need to reach out to our friend that reached out to us this morning and see if she wants to come on here too. So
yeah, and if you want to do a thing on WeChat, I love WeChat.
really,
Let's chat about WeChat.
I do, because it's been requested and I have no idea where to begin. So thank you again, everybody. We appreciate you coming out and
Yeah,
hanging
thank
with
you
us
so
for an hour and a
much.
half. Bye, Sophia. Thanks.
Bye, thank you. See you next time.
Yeah.